Hey, hi,
What's
Robert.
going
Good to see
on?
you.
This is a nice place.
Yes, thank you so
Look
much.
at this view, man. And it's sunny in San Francisco.
It's
You know,
sunny.
I've been out here before when it's like cold and we wouldn't be doing this outside.
No, I think because you asked for the sun, we changed the venue. We were planning to do it inside, and now we are doing it here.
If you can control this simulation that's going on, you're a master, right?
No, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Robert. I have a few questions to ask you.
Yeah.
And you
Well,
have
thanks
not.
for inviting me, first
Yes,
of
no, thank you so much for
all.
Robert.
I've already met some amazing entrepreneurs here. You're an interesting dude.
No, thank you so much. And in fact, I was just joking with all my friends that last week I interviewed you, and then I saw you interview so many people. You have actually interviewed over 1,000 people, from Bill Gates to Microsoft
Probably
janitor.
more than 4,000 actually.
Probably
I
4,000
did
now?
600 just at Microsoft.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and last few months you have not been on the other side of the camera.
Not
so,
much.
So
Yeah.
why
I'm
don't you tell
usually
us-
aiming at, if people are building things. right?
Yeah. So how does it feel now, right? What are you excited
Oh, we're
about?
just having a chat. I'm so used to cameras now. I mean, I'm wearing a camera, right? In fact, let me record you. And I have glasses at home that I'm not even wearing with cameras, right? Cameras are everywhere. My Tesla has a camera looking at me, so I'm used to cameras.
Wow.
And
No,
I'm a
but,
public figure, and I've
yeah.
been on the BBC
Wow.
and in the New York Times and all that, right? So,
But I really appreciate the way you meet the young founders so warmly,
yeah.
because all the founders who are in early stage are typically struggling, and when they meet a person like you and you meet them so warmly, and you appreciate what they're doing, I think that's a great thing you are doing for entrepreneur community
Thank
overall.
you.
So I will thank you from
I'm
behalf
just
of
a
all
sa-
the entrepreneurs.
I'm a narcissistic asshole, and I'm just trying to meet everybody to understand how the world works so
Yeah.
that I have something to say about it. Right?
Wow. No, thank you so much, Robert.
Yeah.
Really appreciate. So now the second question. Everyone quotes your wins, right? You sat in Tesla before it was called Tesla.
Yeah.
Siri was launched in your home. You were user number 79 on Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I had the first ride with Elon Musk. I've had a lot of wins, and I've had a lot of big losses too. I was in the New York Times for grabbing somebody at a party and got my career blown up,
Yeah.
right? So I've been both, right? All my life I've been both analog and digital, right?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, there was no computers at home, and I saw that, and I've seen all these shifts happen in my life, and I've had wins. I've had a lot of them. I've had an extraordinary life. Being able to study entrepreneurs who are building the future.
Yeah.
Uber was invented right in front of me in a
Yeah.
Paris snowstorm,
Yeah.
right? Insta360 camera company was launched in my house. Siri was launched in my house.
Wow.
The Naptick robot
Yeah, I was talking
company
to
was
Mehul.
launched in my
Yeah.
house last year. The Cortical Labs that makes a box that grows 900,000 human neurons on a chip.
Wow.
It's been in the trunk of my car.
Wow.
So
So
I've had the
all-
Matrix in my car.
So all these things were the one where you were early on.
Yeah.
But what is something which you thought will go well, but you were dead wrong about? What do you think about that?
Google Glass is one that hasn't happened yet. I wrote 2 books about spatial computing, thinking that VR and AR would become much more interesting to people than they currently are. I still believe they're coming, and we'll see 5 years from now where we are, because just this week 2 glasses companies came out, and there's a bunch of others, XReal and Bitter and Even Realities. I have a bunch of different glasses at home for different purposes, and my Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah.
That field of wearable computers that can augment the world or change the world, or even just put your LinkedIn over here, or tell me my wife is calling over here, or something like that. That hasn't really been a mainstream
So you wanted
thing
Google
yet.
Glass to be the one, but that is something
Yeah,
which is sort of...
I was like, oh, this is a real important product. Back then, when I first got it, I was like, I'm going to wear this every day. And I did for a year. I wore it every day for a year. And there's a lot of little magic there, but it was just so early.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't have large language models when Google Glass was here. And so it was very limiting in functionality, and it never really improved that much. And then, I don't know, there was a sex scandal at Google, and the team blew up, and they gave up because they got a lot of negative press and all that. they're just about to launch a new product
Hopefully
called
soon,
Orion,
yeah.
codenamed Orion, which has a digital screen and a camera and a AI, and so they're going to make another shot at it. I think it's now it's closer because you can see the pieces are there to make a product that actually does what people expected back then.
Yeah.
A lot of people got freaked out because they thought it did all this weird stuff. You know,
Correct.
could tell you my name, your name.
You're Googling me while I'm looking at me. Yeah.
Yeah, and these things just don't quite work that way yet,
Yeah.
right? Because it's still too freaky, and people are worried about privacy too much. You know, and you know, you see this argument between people like me who are pushing, you know, wearing a wearable camera, and other people are like, don't wear that around me. You better take that off when you come to dinner at my house. You know, I'm like, well, come on, man. It's just, you know, this will help capture us in a new way and make my life better, right? And
actually
people haven't yet seen that.
But that's a good segue to the home. So the home is filling up with intelligence now, right?
Yeah.
A living room, kitchen, doorbell, wrist, right?
Yeah, most people don't have even all that yet.
Yeah.
Right?
So which room is AI is still completely ignoring, according to you? Like, what's happening? And you mentioned about your...
It's sort of funny. In my house, I have a June oven, right?
Yeah.
It has an NVIDIA Jetson card inside the oven and a camera that looks at the food.
Wow.
And you put your toast in there and it cooks it automatically.
Okay.
And that came out years ago.
Yeah.
In fact, the company was bought by the Weber Barbecue Company.
Oh, yes.
And sort of disappeared. There's a competitor now, a new one. And I forget the name of it, but it works the same way. It's a magic oven, but none of my family and friends have bought it. They've been over my house. They've heard my wife say how magical this oven is, but people still don't buy it, right? I've had a Posha robot in my kitchen that can make your meal. It can't do the preparation, but you put it in containers and it pours it in and cooks it and gives you time back, so you don't have to be there over a hot stove cooking a meal. That hasn't taken off yet, right? So the future is here, but it's not evenly distributed, right? Everybody hasn't gotten on board. And in my house, I have, you know, Amazon Ring doorbells and security cameras, and some people have those. A lot of people do, but not everybody on the street. Right? Even in Silicon Valley, right? And I'm not even talking about India or Kansas or Africa or China, right? Still. There's a few people who have these things, but not everybody, not every house, right? Because there's people who are like, oh, that's taking away your neighbor's security or you know, privacy,
looking at us,
right? Why do I want a camera studying me as I come home every day, right?
Yeah.
I'm on the other side of that. You look through my house, I have Chinese lights on my walls, right, from Nanoleaf.
Yeah.
With have a computer in them and a microphone. You know, think about that. Go to an average American. Hey, you know, you should put some Chinese lights on your walls with microphones and cameras. You know, wouldn't that be grand? And it is. It's cool. You know, but people aren't ready for that. And then the Nest thermostat. How many people have a Nest thermostat? You know, a few million people. Yeah. Not everyone. And then you get into the bedroom. And you start thinking, well, you know, I've been doing consumer research and talking to people all over the world about a humanoid robots.
Yeah.
Oh, someday your humanoid robot, you know, what do you, if an Optimus was done and it was cheap and you could buy one or rent one, what would you have it do? Well, wash the dishes, do the laundry.
Fold the clothes.
Doing the laundry means it has to come in the bedroom and pick up the laundry from the bedroom and take it out to the garage where the washing machine is or wherever you have your washing machine, right, and do the laundry. Well, that means it's in the bedroom, right? And that causes the whole, wait, you know, and even like the Naptick robot that I have, which is a vacuuming robot, has 5 cameras on it, rolls around. It's an autonomous car in the house, right? It goes around.
It's like a Waymo in the home.
It's like a little Waymo on the floor.
Correct.
Well, what if you're sitting naked on the toilet and it rolls up? Oh shit! Is some engineer in Philippines looking at my nuts? No, you know, right? That's scary.
Yeah.
And then they see my bathroom. I have a camera on my toilet from Throne Science, right, with an AI computer in it, and looking at my shit, right? And that's weird.
Yeah.
I got that because my friend died from colon cancer.
Oh, okay.
And by looking at that, it can see your health in a new way,
Wow.
right? And can lead to preventative health, which we haven't gotten used to at all. I mean,
Amazing.
I have an Aura
Yeah.
ring on. Some
Yeah.
people are getting that.
But I was about to just ask you, like you wear Aura all the
Yeah.
time. How is your relationship with your sleep? About you, about your wife?
It's all fucked up. I was talking to one of your friends here about, are you getting any sleep? Are your agents keeping you up at night? Are you on X all night long?
Yeah.
Looking at cool shit.
Is it your agent or is it you?
Aura is yelling at me every night, go to bed, but your sleep is all messed up because
Wow.
you're getting up in the middle of the night and working or looking at X or whatever,
Yeah.
and we're seeing burnout happening in
Yeah.
the AI industry because of this, because it's a constant 24-hour a day. I mean, you can open up my screens, my lists on X, and there is new shit happening
Every
at 2 in the
time.
morning, at 4 in the morning, at 8 in the morning. It's busier at 9 in the morning, right?
Correct.
It's just crazy. And so getting sleep, getting exercise, all that is important. And so I think that's where you come in. It's like
Yeah.
you got a little Naptick device, trying to get me to chill out, trying to turn off my devices.
Thank you for the plug-in.
Right?
No, thank you so much.
Got
I
some,
speak
I
about
got
it.
some cool lights. Did I mention
You
that I have
mentioned.
lights in my house?
Yes.
So I went to South by Southwest 25 times,
Okay.
right? Big conference in Texas, music festival, interactive festival, technology festival, and film festival, all in one place. And I love going to the music festival, and they have a lot of lights when you're
Wow.
going to see Swedish House Mafia. There's a lot of lights going on.
Wow.
I want that in my house, right?
And your wife, she listens to white noise, right? Before she
No.
sleeps?
She likes no noise.
She likes no noise.
She likes no. We've had one argument for 24 years, and it's like if I'm at home, I'm turning Swedish House Mafia up full volume. I have 2 subwoofers on a Sonos
Wow.
system, a really nice Sonos system, the best that you can buy. And the house is shaking, and she comes home and she turns it off. She wants it quiet. And so we have this
Wow.
constant tension over sound, right?
Yeah.
But you're getting someplace where if you want to calm your mind and you're looking at X all day long,
Correct.
the first thing the sleep therapist tells you, stop looking at the phone at 9 p.m. or something
Wow.
like that, right? Stop looking at digital devices. My optometrist is talking about blue light. You look at blue light too much, it's causing your eyes problems.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sitting in the sun right now. It's like a chill out, get a little bit of this analog,
So
real
this
world.
So my next question, which is the most recent product which you have tried, which essentially like gave you that feeling magic has arrived and I really wanted it?
I told you about Town.
Yeah.
Town just came out this week, and all these people that I've been listening to all my career, venture capitalists and product innovators are like, this is the coolest thing I've ever had. It's transformed
Magical,
how I deal with email and how I deal with my life, how I deal with my family, because it's watching your email, your calendar,
Amazing.
and telling you, hey, you got a meeting in 10 minutes, here's some information. But, you got a email coming in, it's from a potential client.
Yeah.
So you better take that serious.
Amazing.
And here, we've already answered it for you.
Yeah.
Just click on it and check
just
over the
happens,
answer,
yeah.
maybe change a couple of sentences and send it off.
Wow.
So it helps you deal with the speed of this world.
Have you met the founders of Town already? Not yet?
I want to interview them. I've been talking to them on apps.
I'm sure today after this
yeah.
goes live, I'm sure they will be after your live. Yeah.
It's already in a couple days. That's like, whoa. And by the way,
Going viral.
there's a whole range of different
Consumer
things
AI.
like it. I've interviewed Memory Store, which is coming at this problem from a team perspective. I'm using Time Glass, which is coming from Texas. It's watching everything I do on the computer, right? It watches my screen. It has access to my email, and my calendars, my Slacks, my WeChats, whatever.
Amazing.
And it writes you a whole, it's like an Aura ring for your life and for your team. right? So that's
Second
coming.
brain,
And then I
almost,
was just a few minutes ago, I met the
Thine?
founder of Thine.
Yeah, Pratish,
He's
yeah.
coming at it a different way with an
Yes.
app on a mobile phone that listens to you and
Yes.
can do a variety of things.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch more coming.
Yeah.
They're coming out of the woodwork. This is such a competitive space of trying to use AI to give you superpowers.
Correct.
Trying to help you deal with radical
Yeah.
change, right?
And then you can do something different with your life because
well,
then,
and run your
yeah.
business,
Yeah.
right?
So tell me something. People always talk about the radar which Robert has, because you have this sense of what will work, what will not.
Yeah.
So what goes behind it? Like, is it your sixth sense, or when you meet people, you get it? I know you have seen it all, like been there for a long time.
Okay, on X, it's a long time, right? So I understand where things came from. Like Siri was launched in my house. That was the first consumer app that used AI. So I've been watching the AI industry since it turned consumer. I didn't watch it a whole lot before that when it was a military thing or an academic thing, right? A little bit. I'd read the Wired magazine articles and try to keep up with the future because I care about the future.
Yeah.
If you start talking to me about brain-computer interfaces that'll be out in 10 or 15 years, we could have a good conversation about that because I like to know where things are going.
Yeah.
And I'm a futurist. I like seeing that. But I sold consumer electronics in a consumer electronics store in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
So I understand how people adopt things, how they look at things, how they buy things. Why do they buy that camera and not that camera? And how do they change their mind from that camera to that camera? How do they change their mind from that TV set to that TV set? Why did they choose beta versus VHS or VHS versus beta, right? And so I have a pretty good context of the
muscle
consumer.
memory
And then I study the consumer. I've been to every state except for Alaska. I've been to 80 countries. I've been in people's homes all over the world.
Wow.
So I understand how different cultures and different people look at things and how they adopt them and how fast they adopt them and why they resist them. And I study resistance. I study companies that have been failed in the past. That's a little hobby of mine.
Correct.
So, and I have a very wide scope of understanding of the world. I've been to the prison over here where people killed somebody to get in the prison, right? I've been on the decks of aircraft carriers. I've been in data centers. I've been in factories all over the world of various kinds, making baseball bats to cars, right? And so I've talked with thousands of entrepreneurs now, so I have a very wide and good understanding of things. And on X, I've mapped out everybody I can find who's smart. I put them in a list, right? So I have lists of security professionals, tech journalists, investors, founders, like tens of thousands of founders. And I have the whole AI market mapped out. 8,800 companies are on my list right now. And I put them all in segments like enterprise, medical, creative tools for creative people. So I have a very broad idea of what's going on, and I can see it happening on my screens. And now I built an AI to watch all that, grabs 30,000 posts a day out of X, and rates it and lets me talk to it, and builds a website for everybody, a news site where you can see the new papers, the new models, the new companies, products, and a few other things. And if you want to know something about it, call me, text me, and I'll ask my AI, because I have 1 million posts now in the database that are from these very curated, very organized lists. So the quality is just stunning. Bloomberg does not have anything like this. We were actually talking about starting a company that would license this to Bloomberg so that they could get the quality of their system even higher than what they have. They have a broader set of stuff that they watch for investors, but mine are very specific on the future, right? I have a list of neuroscientists. I have a list of the most complete list of roboticists, people and robot companies, and I talk with the world. I don't just come here to San Francisco. This morning I had breakfast with a guy who lives in Beijing and is running, he's sort of like you in Beijing. There's a guy like you in Beijing, right? Having meetings with all the startups,
getting
in
people
Beijing,
together,
getting people together, investing in them. And so we had a long conversation this morning about what's going on in China. I'm planning a trip to go to Beijing in October. So I've been all over the world. I've interviewed housewives in the slums in South Africa. Again, my view of the world, how it works, is very broad and very wide. I studied even faith around the world, going to churches, because that's how I got my start.
Wow.
My first TV camera was $130,000.
Whoa!
And it was my church bought it. I was going to a church in Silicon Valley, and they bought 3 of these cameras and a couple beta tape decks and a switcher for $500,000.
Wow.
We spent $500,000 on this TV thing because they were part of the televangelism network. So that got me really interested in faith. I switched religions and got married in the Catholic Church to my first wife, and then I switched again, got married in the Muslim tradition to my current wife, which I'm not practicing. I don't care about religion that much.
Yes.
I don't believe there's a thing in the sky controlling me.
You
Maybe there is, and if you are, let's have a chat. But so far, when I pray, nothing comes back.
No,
Some people believe there is, and my mom joined a weird survivalist cult in Montana, right? And the leader of that church, believed that she could hear from God and channel it out to her flock, right? And I went to their ceremony, their thing.
So that's how the radar comes in, okay. And my last question now, so like you meet so many entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
What is your one advice to budding entrepreneurs who are like just starting up, they just entered
Find a
Valley.
customer. Find a customer. If you can find a customer,
you're good. Yeah.
Well, and maybe the customer is you, right?
Yeah.
Wozniak, and Jobs, Woz told me he was working for HP. He didn't want to start a company. He wanted to work for HP. He told me he thought that was the best job ever, right? I want to be an engineer at HP, building calculators and computers at HP. I had worked there forever. He told me if they had built the personal computer, he would have worked there forever. He would have been a lifelong engineer there.
He just wanted a PC. He just wanted a personal computer.
They turned him down 5 times.
Wow.
Right? They said nobody's ever going to buy a personal computer. And this is something you have to get into.
Get customers right.
You might see a future that only you see, and then you got to get everybody else to believe. Even Elon Musk, right? When he gave me the first ride in the first Tesla, I came back to Silicon Valley and was going to hanging out with venture capitalists and founders and other people. And everybody thought he was fucking insane. What do you mean that's such a folly of a rich dude who's got to start thinking he's going to start a car company and take on Toyota? That's stupid, right? He's an idiot, right? So many people told me that in the early days. And, he almost went bankrupt, how many? 3 times? Right? Because it's hard to build a car. They were right that it's a hard job to take on General Motors and Ford and Toyota and Kia and all and Volkswagen, right?
Yeah.
But he saw he wanted an electric car.
And he made everybody believe about it. Yeah.
And he told me in that first ride, I'm going to take on Toyota.
Wow.
And I'm like, with electric motors, because these are better. And the reason he gave me a ride is to demonstrate why electric motors are better than a gas motor. And they go fast. They have better torque. They're more efficient. They're quieter, right? They don't slip. They don't kill you.
A lot of space.
Right. All sorts of things. And they're just better for the environment, right? We're here in a blue sky. I've been in places where there's a brown sky, right? In Tehran right now, the sky's brown. They close the schools every 3 weeks because they have so much pollution because they haven't turned electric. China used to be like that. Now China's starting to get blue skies.
So beautiful now. Yeah,
right?
Shenzhen is
because
amazing.
there's so many electric cars, and they're starting to switch over to other power sources than burning coal, right?
I think
so
important.
You see how a society transforms from a polluted society to a society with this clean, beautiful air, and we probably could. I know people go swimming.
People do swimming. They do kayaking. They're around.
Right.
But thank you so much, Robert, for this. With this.